As infinite spiritual beings having a human experience, we've developed two faces that we have. The first is the face that we show to the world. It is the person that we are known to be. It is the person that we present to our friends, our family, our co-workers, etc. The second is the face that we keep private. It's the shadow that we suppress, that we tend to sweep under the rug, hide in the closet, and tend to quiet down. Our shadow is so private that we're usually actually not even aware of its existence because we've suppressed it so much. We've only had glimpses of our shadow come out, sometimes not necessarily the most convenient time, during fits of rage, nightmares, when we act petty, when we feel the need to seek revenge, paranoid thoughts, drug and sex, binges, anything on the verges of what we would call insane behavior, according to societal standards. There is a very good reason why our shadow remains hidden away, locked away, and that's because we have been conditioned since we've been born to suppress and disassociate from everything that is considered to be bad, shameful, weird, taboo, ugly, mean. Our shadow contains parts of us that have usually been denied, shunned, shamed, or rejected. So through the interactions we have with other human beings, mainly our parents, as well as, friends and family growing up, we learn that positive behavior is associated with positive rewards. We get the connection, the validation, the experiences, the acknowledgement and love that we crave, and all of the bad behavior is associated with rejection, shame, punishment, etc. So we have kind of in our minds set up this association network. Think of it as like a computer that's programmed. So we've learned that as children, in order to be accepted and loved, we've learned to kind of hide those parts of ourselves away that were not met with the needs that we have, not met with approval, with love, with affirmations, with affection. And we've learned to adopt only those traits that are associated with positive reinforcement, therefore cutting off and burying certain parts of ourselves that were actually quite necessary to our survival. So these minute little things that are buried, swept away, they accumulate. And a really good movie, by the way, to watch is seek out is Inside Out. It's a cartoon. I think it's either Disney or Pixar, but it's definitely a family-friendly movie, and it's a great story. But it actually describes the way our emotions and our memories are stored in like these little balls. They look like marbles, and they're different colors, and there's a whole system, the way they're kind of formed and linked together. And this is the way mental illness is often created, and it's a beautiful and easy, light-hearted way to understand what goes on behind the scenes in like a metaphorical sense around significant downside to repressing these parts of ourselves. They might not be socially acceptable, but again, I believe that that is also subjective, because we're learning now that feeling our emotions is actually a very important part of our well-being. So I truthfully think like in the coming decades, the next generations are going to have a much better understanding of healthy mindfulness and natural expression of their needs, their emotions, and what's really going on instead of burying it. So when we suppress everything and hide it away and pretend like it's not there, it usually comes out at times that aren't the most convenient. And these are the times when we're the most vulnerable. So naturally, when we're charged with all of this emotion, it's impacted. It's lessened. So the longer we put off facing our shadows, the more stealthy and controlling and manipulative it actually becomes. So in this video, you're going to get a very simple and powerful set of exercises which can be done pretty much anytime. You can keep a journal, or you can do it mentally. If you keep a journal, I would suggest making sure that it's, either one of those diaries with like a locks on it, or somewhere where you know it can be private, because again, you're going to be integrating some of the most vulnerable parts of yourself, and I think in order to truthfully allow yourself to feel the shadow, integrate the shadow, and experience it, you don't want to have that sort of paranoid backhand thought worrying about what happens if my mom, discovers my diary and she's like one of the people that triggered me, my shadow work. You don't want that. So you just want to make sure wherever it is, it's private, and if it's mentally, that's cool too, but just make sure to keep it a healthy, regular part of your routine, because I find that if we do it on the spot, it's easier to remember, and also it's easier to kind of immediately process certain triggering situations, certain conflicts, certain dilemmas that you experience. If you already have a tool ready to go in the back of your pocket, then there's no need to suffer for, days or weeks on end in between that time and the time that you get to integrate. So essentially we are recognizing that with a shadow, we have the light and the dark, and the yin and the yang. These are two things that are just 100%, they exist in every single part of our universe, in nature, in ourselves, in the universe. We can't have light without the dark. And in order to make friends with the dark, we need to face it and integrate it and love it and acknowledge it, because then it becomes less of like a sneaky little alter ego that pops out here and there like, hello, surprise. It's more of something that is under control, and you recognize these parts of yourself, and it's so liberating, and you're going to feel weight coming off your shoulders. So without further ado, welcome to Intro to Shadow Work. If you haven't already, I encourage you to like and subscribe to this video. I will be posting a more heavy-duty video to follow, so stay tuned for that, and make sure to subscribe so you're the first to hear about the next level. This video can be done by all levels, whether you're new to shadow work or you are super familiar. It is covering some of the definitions and concepts, tying them together, as well as giving you some thought-provoking questions. And stay tuned for the end, because we will be having shadow work, which is actually acknowledging the stuff that we see in other people that we don't acknowledge in ourselves, that we put on a pedestal. So shadow work is not only the negative, but it's also the stuff that we deny in ourselves that actually very much exists too. So stay tuned, and thanks for time. What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa Johnston, and I'm the founder of Nirvana Collective. I'm a human design practitioner, consciousness coach, and I'm here to help co-create the new earth with you guys by expanding our consciousness, exploring spirituality, and truly designing a life beyond our wildest dreams. Let's get into shadow work. So one, I wouldn't say primer or warning, because it's really a very healthy exercise to be doing, but one suggestion I would say, shadow work should always be either preceded by or incorporated with self-love, self-care. Find some self-loving activities, take a soothing bubble bath, do stuff to treat yourself, like gently and kindly, because shadow work is basically confronting the most vulnerable parts of ourselves that we are terrified of. It's not an easy task, and you guys should give yourself a pat on the back for even making it this far. So, welcome. So in order to keep this like a regular part of our practice, we want to make sure that we don't bite off more than we can chew. Take baby steps, be gentle. If you find yourself stuck, sleep on it, meditate on it, seek out a trusted friend and ask them for some feedback. Don't overwhelm yourself, and really pace yourself, especially when you're getting used to it, because we don't want you to fear this. This is one of the most important exercises you can do for your development on a personal and spiritual level. So just make sure to take care of yourself along the way. According to the Jungian definition, the shadow is basically the broad category that covers an entire scope and, I guess, bandwidth of contents in our personal unconscious. The reason it's unconscious is, again, because it's suppressed by us. We learn that it is not a good thing. We store it away and lock it up, and that's why we're not aware of these things. The negative personal traits and characteristics that we reject, suppress in ourselves, and actually are triggered by through the projection we see in others. So I'll say it again, we repress these traits in ourselves, they exist in ourselves, and the reason other people piss us off, trigger us, anger us, we find that they're insensitive, hateful, spiteful, petty, still running on programming, is actually because we're projecting ourselves onto their character. This triggers a dissatisfaction, and in order to kind of bridge the gap and make friends, this is where the work comes in. So as you continue to do the shadow work, one of the biggest gifts you'll get is you'll become less triggered, and you'll be able to hold that neutral observer, like the passenger of the vehicle rather than the driver, and just witness everything without judging, without fearing, and without getting enraged by everything. Next we have, so another component of the shadow is the latent positive personal traits and characteristics that we also suppress, reject, and repress in ourselves and see again through projection in others. So this is called like the gold in the shadow, and these are things that we put on a pedestal when we look up to other people. We idealize it, we think they're awesome, we wish that was us, and it is us, but again, because there's that disconnect, you can't have the light without the dark. Lastly, the collective shadow is like the theme of 2020. It's basically the reason why right now is one of the most important times in the world to be doing this, because it is at the common level of humanity. So even the cabal and the reptilians and the corrupt politicians that make us so angry, we can at some level integrate those aspects into ourselves. Now, I'm not saying that we're on that level, but the tendencies and the traits we can, if we actually take a deep look, make connections. Now, in order to co-create this new earth and look forward to this 5D consciousness as a collective, there is not much room for the disintegrated shadow. We need to integrate it in order to all be operating from a place of neutrality, balance, harmony, objectivity, and clarity. I'm going to teach you guys a super simple technique called the 3-2-1 process, and this is an easy way of incorporating the disowned part of yourself, like the distant aunt, the distant great aunt, or whatever you want to say. So it into a recognized component of self, as in I. So the 3-2-1 process involves addressing your shadow part first in the third person. So it is whatever, rude. Then in the second person, you are rude, and that's usually the trigger person or the trigger situation that we're dealing with at the time. And then finally in the first person, so I, and that's when you reflect on, wait a second, I do that too. So the steps in summary are face, talk, and be. And here's how the technique is explained in Wilber's little instruction book from ILP, which is the Integrated Life Practice. The book, you can look it up, is The Integral Vision. So first thing in the morning is a great time to do it. It takes 5 minutes before you get out of bed. Review in your head your dreams. And the reason I say doing it before out of bed is because by the time we wake up, check our phone, go grab a cup of coffee, cereal, we usually forget most of our dreams. So if you can remember, set yourself a little note to see right when you wake up, you'll be able to remember and recall exactly what you dreamed about, which is helpful actually on many levels. So what you're going to want to do is identify either a person, a place, or a thing that had a lot of emotional charge, whether it was positive or negative. You're going to want to face, let's say it's a person, face the person, holding them in mind. And at first it's a little bit uncomfortable because it's usually something scary or not great. But then you'll start to see they're actually just like looking back at you in your imagination. So then you talk to the person, and you can have a verbal dialogue or a mental dialogue, or you can just resonate with them. Do whatever works for you. So you're going to want to ask them a few questions like, why are you doing this? And start to understand more about it instead of just seeing it for face value. And then for the third part, you're going to understand and reflect how you identify this in yourself. And it doesn't have to be the same way, but it has to basically, there has to be some sort of link being formed. So the other way you can do this, or the addition, like whether you, next what you can do is right before bedtime, you can mentally review your day and either pick out somebody who really bothered you and triggered you or attracted you during the day. So again, notice how I said attracted. Yes, the cool thing about shadow work is incorporating the traits that you idealize, which we'll be covering in a separate part towards the end of the video, so stay tuned. I'll explain this separately towards the end of the video, so make sure you stick around so that you don't miss out on the importance of integrating the desirables that we love about others as well. So that's kind of a more comfortable element of shadow work. So yeah, back to the 3, 2, 1. You're going to want to face them, talk to them, and then be them. So this technique can be used not only by people who bring up an emotional charge, but also with situations or memories as well as traumas that create a disturbance in you. So for example, let's say you have a dream where a stranger is chasing you and you're frantically trying to run, like just getting away, but no matter what, the stranger is still just coming after you. That stranger is a message from your subconscious, as our dreams usually speak to us. So this is where multiple levels of dream work are actually beneficial here. The stranger might represent some information from your shadow that is trying to come across your awareness, but your conscious mind is fearful of letting that information in. Again, because we've been trained to say, no thank you. But it might actually be quite helpful. So in the 3, 2, 1 process, you're going to visualize the same situation, the same scenario that you had in your dream. But this time, I want you to stop and face the person, the stranger, and just look them in the eye and see what happens. And once you do that for a few seconds, getting past the initial discomfort, you'll actually notice that the stranger also stops and is simply staring back at you. And at that point, you'll start to realize, okay, wait a second, like, it's actually not that scary, because they're literally just looking right back, like, what? Yeah, what do you want? So next you start to engage in talk, which is part 2, with the stranger, and ask what they want you to know. So this is where the you part comes in, the second person. What do you want? What are you trying to tell me? What are you doing? Why are you after me? What's your motive? Why won't you leave me alone? And just mentally think of the first stuff that comes to mind, because it's an easy way of bringing it up from your subconscious memory. From your subconscious mind. So continue looking at the stranger until your fear completely dissipates, and you want to wait until you get to a point where you don't have to love the person, but just be neutral. And you'll realize that there's actually nothing frightening about the situation at all. If you can imagine what the stranger might say to you, it will likely actually be something like, I'm just trying to protect you, or I'm just afraid. And the reason this is so key is because the reason this is such a key element is because protection is actually one of the most essential functions of your shadow. It's protecting your ego, your identity, your concept of self. So when you feel you understand the stranger and you've kind of come to a point of like a common ground, you can begin to imagine incorporating the traits of the stranger into yourself, and this is the third person being, like, you be the estranged part of yourself. How do you do this to others? Where do you chase people? Do you keep trying to wake people up? Do you keep trying to, warn people about destructive behavior? Whatever it is, how does yourself appear as this shadow, and how does this shadow type of behavior appear in your daily life? So now the cool part about shadow work, as it allows you, and that's it, it's that simple. So If you've made it this far in the video, give yourself a pat on the back. Shadow work is no easy task, but again, it's one of the most important things you can do for mental clarity, spiritual development, and your relationships. I've put together a PDF that's free for you guys, and you can download it using the link in the description. This has a reminder of the steps that we talked about in this video, the 3, 2, 1, and some thought-provoking, mindfully introspective questions, or journal prompts for your shadow work inspiration. You can download it below using the link in the description. And if you've liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe to my channel. If you're feeling generous, I would greatly appreciate it if you shared it with somebody else that might benefit from shadow work or that is interested in learning about shadow work. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like this video, hit the like button below and share it with somebody who might. If you like this video, please hit the like button below and share it with somebody who might resonate, or somebody who's been wanting to learn about shadow work. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more exciting content. As mentioned, I will be doing like a level 2, which is more heavy duty, but for now, this covers all of. For now, the 3, 2, 1 method is exactly what you need to get started. And again, you can use it in pretty much every aspect of your life. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you here next time.